Hey my Pokè Peeps, we're back in action and I've got a bit of a different video now. Basically, I'm going to be doing a team builder for my next team that I plan on using. And yeah, we're going to run through it. I'm going to show you guys how I plan teams. There were a couple of comments on previous videos saying, please do a team builder. So here we are, I'm listening to you guys and I hope you enjoy. Alright guys, so before we start, I'm going to be using 3 websites at the moment. First one is obviously Pokemon Showdown, just through the team builder, and we're doing it in the VGC 2021 format. The next is going to be Smoggin University. It's a great website, particularly if you're new to the game. It shows you a ton of interesting ways to use Pokemon, and it shows you what they're weak against, what they're strong against, who they work well with. So if you haven't already, check that out. It can really help you in forming teams. And the third and final is going to be the Pokemon Showdown damage calculator. That's more so used to find the nitty-gritty stuff of your team. So towards the end, if you're sort of wondering, oh, do I need this or do I need that? That's where you're going to sort of be able to find that really fine detailed stuff that's going to help in those really tight-knit games. Alright guys, so as you can see on the screen, the first thing I like to do is I like to find a Pokemon that is going to be the feature Pokemon or the focus of your team basically. Everyone else should be running around it and it needs to be really the center point and things need to be working to help it. So for me, as you can see, that is going to be Groudon. I wanted to try a weakness policy set, and there are a number of ways that you can run the weakness policy sets. Either you can hope that it's going to get procced by the other team, or you can run a Pokemon like Comfey, which can proc it for you, which I think is what I'm going to be doing. I have toyed around with this with a few other Pokemon, but I think Comfey is just a really great Pokemon, particularly when you're sort of dealing with the featured Pokemon. Yeah, it's a really great accompaniment. It does fairly decent damage, but it also can get you into an amazing position quite quickly. So yeah, I think it's going to be paired up with Comfey. Finishing off Groudon though, we're going to be going with Protect. Now Protect is an amazing move on medium speed tiered Pokemon. It causes a lot of mind games. Are they going to protect? Aren't they going to protect? Do they have Protect? So Protect's an amazing move there. It also allows you to sort of set things up around you without taking unnecessary damage. For example, I think I'm going to be trying to run this as a Trick Room team with Comfey. So we've got Groudon, he's obviously going to be a little bit slower, and it's going to catch things off guard, hopefully. Now with Groudon, if we go Protect, and he happens to Gigantamax a Pokemon on the other side and hit us, we're only going to be taking 25% of that damage. So we've really reduced the damage, and we're also proccing our weakness policy. So for example, if we find ourselves in a matchup where we've got a Venusaur on the other end, we're going to be able to Protect, take that 25% damage, proc our weakness policy while getting a Trick Room up, and then we're in a really good position just to take that Venusaur out with a Max Flare straight away. We're going to be outspeeding, and then we can obviously Dynamax, and then we can Floral Healing and do all sorts of shenanigans with the Comfey as well. Okay, so continuing on with Groudon, we're just going to be having the Fire Punch, Rock Slide, and then I like to run High Horsepower purely because if there's a chance to miss, I will. Having Precipice Blades, which is obviously a significantly better move, yeah, it's not great. And I don't really running the Earthquake because I don't plan on having any flying types that I can sort of freely use it around. When it comes down to stats for the Groudon, he's pretty simple. We're not going to be going max speed though, as the Smoggin set will show us. We're going to be going max attack and max HP. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So yeah, we're going to be going like this. Basically, we're hitting as hard as we can. We proc that weakness policy. We're going to be up to 444 attack, which is just stupid. And then we've also got some fairly decent bulk there with about 414 health. Alright guys, so the next Pokemon we're going with is the Comfey. Now with Comfey, like I said, it is going to be a Trick Room setter. So I'm going to be having the Focus Sash on them. I'm in 2 minds. I kind of wanted to try it as a safety goggles user just so I could have a better chance of it, but I think Focus Sash will let us do what we need to do in a better sense, just in case people do try and target us down, and then we can sort of live one hit and blah blah blah, go from there. Okay, so with Comfy, you're pretty much always going to have 3 moves. You're going to have your Floral Healing, your Giga Drain, your Draining Kiss, and then for us it is Trick Room. You don't have to run both of the draining moves. You can just go Giga Drain, considering Giga Drain's on here to proc our Groudon's weakness policy, so it's a must. But the Draining Kiss you can turn into an ally switch or something along those lines if you're wanting to play a little bit spicy. Switch things up a little bit. Stats for the Comfy, they're pretty generic. I kind of want Comfy to die though, so once it's set up Trick Room, I do want it to die. So I don't want it to have the best defenses. I want it to sort of be able to chuck out a ton of damage and then maybe take 2 hits. So yeah, I'm just going to give it a plus minus speed, give it that, and we're good to go. No, same. We're going to go and defend. So there's our Comfy. Basically, yeah, we're in there. Protect with Groudon, Trick Room, Giga Drain while Dynamaxing, and then we're fully set up. So in 2 turns, we've got a fairly unstoppable Pokemon. Alright, so as you can see, we're going with our 3rd Pokemon, which I wanted to be the Regieleki. Regieleki is a phenomenally strong Pokemon. It's great with speed control. Yeah, it's a phenomenal Pokemon in so many ways. It outspeeds most things, even when they're Choice Scarf. It can reduce speed with Electro Web, which is just silly, and it does a ton of damage as well. It's not weak. So I'm going to chuck the Magnet on this one. The reason I'm doing that is we get a little boost on our electric type attacks without being locked into things. We've got a little bit of maneuverability, we can do certain things, and we can switch things up while still maintaining our amazing speed stat. Transistor, again, it's a stupid ability, but it works out so well. We're going with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, like I said before, Electro Web, and then Protect again. So Protect on here purely to play those mind games. Is he going to Protect? Does he have Protect? What sort of set is he? Can I attack this thing? Blah blah blah. Okay, so we're just going to be going with the max speed and the max special attack with a timid nature. Again, we're going timid because we outspeed things like Scarf Kyogre, +2 Xerneas we still outspeed. So yeah, the speed for Regieleki is its key, and it also can chuck a fairly decent chunk of damage down if brought in on the right Pokemon. Okay, so for me, looking at the composition of this team, I know it seems weird having 2 fast Pokemon, but it is sort of to deter someone from thinking it's going to be a Trick Room team. So they see 2 fast Pokemon and they go, oh my god, it's not a Trick Room team, I don't need to worry about Trick Room. You bring in your Trick Room, and then they've got nothing to defend against it. So that's why I've got the 2 speed Pokemon in here, so the Regieleki and my next Pokemon, the Katana. So I know it seems silly, but there is a method to the madness. And most of the time the Groudon will be able to stay in there for at least the 5 turns of Trick Room, so you don't need to worry about it dying and then having these 2 under Trick Room in there. If you do, you've also got the Protect on the Regieleki that can stall out one of those turns. Because we've already got the Focus Sash on the Comfy, we're going to be running it as an Assault Vest set. Obviously Beast Boost, we're going Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Sacred Sword, and then we're going with Aerial Ace. Now, the reason why we've chose that particular moveset is because this is going to be our alternative Dynamax using Pokemon. So obviously we're going to hope to be able to set up the Groudon, but if there's certain modes or certain teams that we come up against that it really isn't going to be the beneficial move for us, Katana is going to be our next thing. Plus with Beast Boost, you can get on a roll really quickly. You take out 1 Pokemon, you're already in a really great spot. Plus with the Assault Vest, I ran some damage calcs previously, and I'll show you them in a second. But we can outspeed, so we can take a Water Spout from a Kyogre, and we can take a Max Lightning from a Regieleki. So 2 big threats of outspeeding us. We can also guaranteed live at least 1 hit from them. If we are left as a Dynamax Pokemon, we know we can go for a Beast Boost, go for the area max Airstream, get a Speed Boost. After that, we'll guaranteed be outspeeding most Pokemon. We'll still underspeed that Regieleki, but we could probably take it down with something else. Hopefully we're not alone and the Regieleki's already gone down because it is quite frail. Alright guys, so here's the damage calc that I ran. It was Katana with my own set versus the Kyogre with the Choice Scarf. I haven't got all the stats in there because I was only really worried about the special defense stat. And what we're going to be focusing on are these numbers here. So basically, these numbers, they're going to be how much or the likelihood of those Pokemon killing us. So we're guaranteed to kill with Leaf Blade on the Kyogre, and we're guaranteed to live the Water Spout. The other Pokemon that we need to look at is the Regieleki, which are quite common, and the Choice Spec set again is also fairly common, and we'll make that a level 50. So again, we're guaranteed to live something, and we have a fairly decent chance of taking it out at this point. We don't have any attack stats, so let's go 212, I think, attack. And yeah, look, we're guaranteed to kill both Pokemon with a Leaf Blade in there in that sort of situation. So we're all good. We're going to be absolutely fine there. I also ran it as a modest Regieleki because I just wanted to double check that there was no chance of that doing that extra little bit of damage. Obviously crits, but crits happen. You don't sort of plan around crits too often. Alright, so that's the set that I've come up with for the Katana. We live the Water Spout, we live the Max Lightning, we live a Choice Spec Thunderbolt. So we're doing pretty good in that space, and we also live Life Orb moves. So I'm pretty confident that this Katana is ready to take on the Pokemon that I need it to. It also adds that extra little bit of survivability against certain Pokemon. So obviously Groudon, Kyogre come in, we can change and we can lead with the Katana instead of the Groudon, and then we can go from there. Alright, so the next thing that I was thinking of whilst I was building this team was I need a Pokemon that has Wide Guard, particularly because there's Astral Barrage, there's Glacial Lance, there's Water Spouts, there's Precipice Blades. There's so many moves in the current meta that are multi-targeting, and Wide Guard obviously puts that on its head. I wanted to also have a Pokemon that could hit Rock, Steel, and Dark type Pokemon for super effective damage, so I went with Hitmontop. It's a little bit of an underused Pokemon, but I think it works really well. Most of the sets that I would normally run with the Hitmontop would have either the Assault Vest or the Focus Sash, but obviously both of them are being used, so I'm going with an Aguave Berry there. Give it a little bit more survivability and give it the Intimidate. So now we have an Intimidate user, a Wide Guard user, a Fake Out user. We can go with Support as well. Now for me, with Support, it can either be a Coaching or a Helping Hand. I prefer, and the way I've structured it is that under Trick Room, Hitmontop is outspeeding Groudon. So we can go for a Coaching, and then the Groudon actually gets the benefit from that Coaching before it moves. So I wanted to try the Coaching out, see if I could make that work. And then for the last move, we are just going with the Close Combat, and we're going for a max HP, max attack set. Now when it came to the last Pokemon, I wasn't sure if I wanted to have another sort of Sweepamon, or if I wanted to have another sort of utility mon. The first team that I decided on, I went with the Porygon 2. So Porygon 2 has always been a fairly standard VGC mon. It helps a lot, particularly with super strong attackers. You can get attack off, you can set up Trick Room, you can recover, all sorts of shenanigans. You have that Evil Eye on there, and you're going to be you're going to be able to survive a lot of things. Also, Download Boost. Alright, so Download can be particularly useful, and I'll show you why with some damage calcs afterwards. But the way I wanted to run this was with Tri-Attack, Ice Beam, Recover, and then we wanted to have Ally Switch in there. Again, I love Ally Switch. I think it's such a unique move, and plays absolute havoc with a lot of people. On the second thought with this, I'd probably change Tri-Attack to Shadow Ball to be able to take out the Calyrexes, Solgaleos, things like that, be able to do a little bit more damage. If we get a +1 boost, I'm fairly sure it'll be able to do more damage, but I am just going to go with Tri-Attack for now. I'm almost happy with this set, but I'm just going to put it into defense and then I'm all good there. Like I said, I'm sort of hoping on that download boost rather than giving it some actual boost myself. Alright, so I'm happy with that set, and let's go check out some damage calcs. Alright, so this is, I didn't plan on showing this particular damage calc, but I think it's pretty cool nonetheless. So if we get a +1 in our special attack for a switch in for download, we can end up taking out Regieleki's in one shot with Tri-Attack. So it might be useful to actually have the Tri-Attack on there, but if we don't get the boost, it's still doing between 78 and 92% or 93%, which is phenomenal damage. Alright, so this is the one that I was more interested in, and that's the Calyrex, the Shadow form. If we do get the +1, we're guaranteed to take it out. If we don't, we're still doing between 73 and 87%, which is awesome. So I definitely think having Shadow Ball on there would be useful. I might make that adjustment. Alright, and then here's another great calc, is the Landorus. I think I picked the wrong Landorus. It was meant to be Landorus T, and we'll just go with the Choice Scarf set. And then we'll go with 50. Yeah, so we're guaranteed to OHKO Landorus T's with Ice Beam. So I think Ice Beam's definitely staying, but I think we do Shadow Ball instead of the Tri-Attack. We can still do a ton of damage to Regielekis without the Tri-Attack. Alright guys, so if I was planning on doing anything else with the team, I would probably, and this is just something that I was thinking about and thought would go really well, which would be having a Melodic on this team with the competitive and the Adrenaline Orb. So if you don't know how Adrenaline Orb works in competitive, basically if you get hit by Intimidate, it gives you a +1 in speed, so it makes you pretty fast, and can, you know, it does throw a couple of spanners in the work there. And then we're going to go with competitive there. So basically what we hope is if they've got an Intimidate user, we can have our Melodic and our Groudon out. If obviously yeah, where we're not expecting it or they're not expecting it, the Melodic's got the Adrenaline Orb, so it should be able to outspeed a few Pokemon at least. And then we can sort of swap out Groudon to make sure that it doesn't waste its life basically. And then we can go into Hitmontop or something like that, give ourselves the fake out priority. And then we can go for a max move, or we can just stay normal and hit pretty hard with that competitive. It's just an extra deterrent from people bringing competitive Pokemon, which I think is fairly common these days. So I'd probably just run it with Muddy Water. I don't know if I'd go Ice Beam or Blizzard. I think Blizzard would be fun. And then does it get anything move wise? Maybe Dragon Pulse. Yeah, that would be fun. And then I think we go with Protect. We can either go with Protect or Recover, in my opinion. Both would be fairly good moves. I think Protect's going to be the best because it's meant to come in, deal out a bunch of damage. It's not really going to be the supportive set that most Melodics are. And then, yeah, I'm happy with that. Max speed, max special attack with a little bit of investment in special defense. We're still going to be taking hits pretty well, especially defensively, with that Melodic. So yeah, that's two ways that I can see this team running, is with the Melodic and with the Porygon 2. Alrighty guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content. If you did enjoy today's video, please check out some of my others. I'm sure you'll like them just as much. If you did like the team builder strategy thing that I was going with today, please let me know in the comments. If you didn't like an aspect of it, or if you really liked an aspect of it, please let me know in the comments. That's how I learn, that's how I grow as a content creator. I really value everything you guys do for me, so yeah. Anyways,